gain your trust for 2 years just to screw you over in the end.
The blessing that they needed more than me, know how in heaven you get back that $10,000.
That's actually a scam that I go into the bank to deposit the money and
somebody just robbed me some money, man.
So before we get back to the episode, this is Talks with Bob. This is where we talk about life lessons that we've learned, things that we went through in life. This is like story time. This is like story time where we go through the things that we struggled with, the things that caused us to suffer, and we learned from them. So the things that we went through, we're telling you so that you can learn to not go through these same mistakes. So as you know, they say, a wise man learns from his mistakes, and a wiser man learns from other people's mistakes. And you're wiser. Back to the episode. Cool. What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote. That's a very good question.
You never thought about it?
No.
Oh wow.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm not a quote person.
But you know any quotes?
Not really.
Oh. Okay. Alright. So I have a favorite quote, right? And when I told one of my friends my quote, and from I told them, they told me that that makes sense. Because the reason why I always ask people their favorite quote is because it shows me the type of person that you are. Because normally people's favorite quote resonates with them, like their personality.
Okay. What's your favorite quote?
Okay, hold on. You want me to tell you what the personality trait that they categorize me with?
What?
You want to guess or you want me to tell you?
Tell me.
They say I'm controlling.
Okay.
From my favorite quote. I never thought about it until after, when I actually broke down my quote and I realized, oh shoot, I might be right. But my favorite quote is, if I treat you as though you are capable of what I see you becoming, I help you become that. But if I accept you as you are, I make you worse.
Where you get that from?
I read that in a book. It's called The Tribe of Mentors.
Okay.
Yeah, so that book is... So the guy, what he did was... He said, if I was to start from scratch and not be successful, like completely from the beginning, he was like, who are the people that I would reach out to? So he said, you know what, let me reach out to everyone that's successful and see what ideas they have. So he sat down and he brainstormed some questions that touch on every aspect of life and business. And he asked all them the same questions. So he said he sent over 1,000 emails and letters. And he said, surprisingly, he thought that they're going to give one-word answers and all that. But he said that they actually gave him enough information that he can actually create a book. So he have 7 questions that 7 or 11, I think it's 11. I think it's 11 questions that he asked all of them. He said that he told them, you can choose your favorite questions and answer. And the whole book is just based off of the same...
They answering the question?
Yeah, answering the question. So, they might ask you, what's your favorite quote? Then they ask, what's your favorite quote? So everybody have the same questions, but it's just different answers. And the variety of answers that you get, because a lot of times we always hear they say that all millionaires operate the same way, right? Which, in general, they kind of do, because they all have discipline, which is the main factor that they need. But the things that they do, how they look at things are slightly different. But in a nutshell, most of it is the same, because they all look at mistakes. They all look at mistakes as they don't look at it like how we would look at it and be like, damn, I messed up. They look at it like, okay, now I know how not to do it again. Like a learning experience.
I think we do that too. We messed up, but I think that's majority of us will do that. We messed up and we'll look at it as a learning experience. I guess yes.
But they go into it knowing that, okay, I might mess up. Whereas...
Yeah, because they have the resource that they can mess up. That's the difference between them and us. They'll mess up with $10,000 and oh shucks, I'm not gonna do it again. You mess up with $10,000, what the hell? I'll have to pull out all here because we don't have it.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between them and us. If we had that and we messed up and said, okay, I'm not going to do it again, and then we know we can get that back. But if that's what you have, and you don't know how in heaven you get back that $10,000.
Yeah.
It's that's why it seems different. But it's the same learning experience because we just go through. So, for instance, somebody pull a fast one on you, and you're losing money towards them. It's a learning experience for you. You're not going to go back and do the same thing again.
Yeah.
It's just a learning. Sometimes you might be a bit scared to go forward and make money. That they might give you the opportunity. It might be, an opportunity to present itself that, listen, this is an opportunity for you to make some money, but because somebody do bad to you, you're scared.
Yeah.
And that's where the difference, because they have the money, somebody do anything to them, and say, well, I can get back that.
Yeah.
We have to work so hard to get it back, if we ever get it back, so.
Yeah, that's true. But they have some people that they actually sacrifice their last, and they still look at it like, I can get it back, right? Because there's certain things that you just can't lose, right? Like certain skills that you might have, right? Let's say that you make let's say you wash car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're very good at washing car. You know that somebody car got always want to wash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you might be like, man, I only got $500 and this thing could be $500. Either gonna make me or break me, right? They can still risk it, right? They can still risk it, but then when you don't have anything to stand on, where you're like, okay, you work for somebody. Let's say you work for somebody, and then you say, okay, man, I know that if I do this and I might have to take the time off. If I take the time off, I lose my job. Like those kind of things, you don't even want to take that kind of risk. But if you know you have a skill that, okay, I can do this, and even if I lose all this, I can make it back, right? But if you have to depend on a job, is a lot different. You don't want to risk the money that you work for on a job. But when you have a skill, you will more likely risk it because you know how that skill can always make you back money. And I think that this happened to most of us, where we know that, okay, we depend on this 9 to 5 our job, so let me not risk this because all this money here is supposed to go to my
mortgage.
Yeah. So I think that's a big difference between how they operate and how we operate. But we is them soon, so let me.
Yay.
And one of the other questions that they have in the book, which touched on the point that you just made, where somebody did you bad and then you find it hard to trust again, is they ask them to name one thing that happened to you that you thought was a mess up that actually end up to be a blessing in disguise. You ever thought about that? Something that ever happened to you in your life where you were like, damn, this sucks, and then after you look at it and depack it, you realize like, okay, this actually taught me such a valuable lesson, or showed me how to do something differently. That ever happened to you? Well, I'm sure it happened, but
it happened, but I don't think it's. Well, it taught me a valuable lesson, but I don't know the blessing that come from that. It's like, it's a lesson. It's a lesson learned, but I don't know the blessing.
Okay, so what happened?
Somebody just robbed me some money, man.
So you don't think that's a lesson?
That's what I'm saying. It taught me a lesson. What the blessing is. The blessing that they needed more than me?
It could be that too, but other than that?
No, they can't need it more than me.
Okay, but then, so like, somebody rob you of it, right? Yes, I look at lessons as a blessing generally, right?
Okay.
So if somebody robbed me of some money, now, yes, I learned a lesson, right? But the blessing behind the lesson is the fact that it's something that's now stuck with me, where I know that there's certain questions I'm now gonna ask. If anybody say, yo, can I borrow X amount of dollars, right? There's certain questions I'm gonna ask. Okay, what are you gonna do with the money, right? When do you plan to pay me back? How is this gonna make you where you live? I started to ask that now too.
Yeah,
like,
okay. Suppose it's something like okay, so for instance, enactment. Like this person come to you and said, listen, I have this investment that going, and it's like $3,000. If you $3,000, and I will give you back, say $3,500. I said, okay, because I'm helping. And then the first time it worked out good, you gave me back that. The second time they come and they was like, give me, it's the same thing I'm doing again. You know, in the next 3 weeks and so, you get back your money. You do that. And then the person make it seem it's like a situation where it's working because you do that maybe for a year with that person.
Yeah.
And you get back your money all the time. You even get interest.
Yeah.
But then they decide to do a bigger one with now.
Yeah.
And you can't find the person.
Okay. That's
What?
that's okay. That's understandable. Now, I guess the lesson is when it's not that when it seems too good to be true, it's too good to be true. But the lesson is that it's like
Never trust anyone. I get the lesson.
Not never trust anybody. It's not even that. But it's more on if you look at it like, cause that's actually a scam that people that's always do. I forgot what they call it, but it's like luring you in, right?
Yeah,
so
you know the thing about it where you trust this person because you know this person working with you for, say for example, they work for you for 2 years.
Yeah.
You see this person every day working with you.
Yeah.
You know which part they live.
Yeah.
Because you just like drop them home. So you kind of trust that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they quit their job. You can't find them and even quit their job. And then when you go by the house, they don't live there anymore.
Okay.
So it's like something that they plan.
Yeah. Yeah, they have.
You know, so why go to the depth of robbing people like that?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, you don't even want somebody, you know.
Yeah.
It mostly holding people in the office because it's like you know, they were going through. It's like everybody put their trust in this person.
Yeah.
You know, because it's something you're accustomed to do. One, you know.
Yeah.
But lesson learned.
Yeah, that's true.
Minister the blessing because then I have to work so hard because you know, okay, so for instance you have, okay, you lend this one but you have this saying, okay, I have this money, this is what I'm going to do with this when I get back that money. Not even about doing it again, whatever, but you just know that you have this money to do this certain thing.
Yeah.
And then when you don't get that, what will happen?
That's true. That's true. It messes
Yeah.
Yeah, it throw you off. From my view, looking at that situation, what I look at that, I would have said that it just shows me that when it comes down to investment, right, I have to trust myself with investments, and then on top of that too, like paperwork. Like anytime you're doing anything with,
but
I understand what you're
but
saying.
even though you have paperwork, suppose we have
still,
paperwork and you can't find the person, what are you gonna do with the paperwork?
if it's notarized, you have
what are you gonna do?
What do you mean?
Tell me.
You serve them.
Serve who?
Them.
Who? Where? How?
If you have the
Tell
full, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If you have the full name, right? You have the full name, right? You have the phone number. Even though they move, right? Even though they move, you're still able to find them. You know.
How?
Police station. Your police.
Bro, the phone number. You think the phone number?
I understand the phone number could change, but
Yeah.
wherever they move, right? Remember, you think police can't find you when you have to find you?
Okay, so for instance, listen here. Everybody know your father as what?
My father? Like name? Lawrence Mason.
Okay. And what your name?
Linfield.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh. But well, when you notarize, you know, you have to have your actual ID.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe they make a fake ID. So maybe yes, they
But then
did a
even
legitimate
though
scam.
you notarize, he go into business as Lawrence.
Understand.
You understand? And then notarize that as Linfield because that is his ID.
Yeah, understand. Yeah,
So
so,
I'm
that's what I'm saying.
like-
So it could be.
Yeah, so I'm like this person, like I'm saying that they put a trust
it.
in you
Yeah.
where this is what I'm gonna do to this person or these people. Like this is what I'm gonna do in a year. In a year, I'm supposed to have to buy a house or whatever. They would take that money and do because it's a lot.
Yeah.
So there's like I'm playing with these people, and maybe you do it like maybe take from here and here and then give us back. I don't know how they do it,
Yeah.
but whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a good ripoff.
Yeah.
It's a good ripoff. I'm telling you, that scam was like a genius scam.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Yo, I think everybody gets scammed at some point in their life, and I think that it always happens at a time where you're planning to do something, right?
Yeah.
But it's never, I don't think that it's ever on a large scale. I always feel like before you end up and have 100,000 to invest, I think God put it in a way in which He'll show you this lesson from early to say, yo, let me wait till she have 5,000. And let me hear, 5,000 seem like a lot to her now, but I don't want it to happen to her at 100,000. So let me give her this lesson from now to let her know that how, like, when it comes down to these kind of things, you can't put your money behind somebody 100% and just hope for the best, right? If you have funds, you gotta find a way to invest it yourself and make it work. When you know what? Let me just. That's a lazy way, if you get what I'm saying. That's a lazy way to say, let me just give these people my money and let them make some money off my money, right? That's a lazy way.
But is it the lazy way?
It is a lazy way, but then there's people that do it, but it's just that, they have, proper paperwork, there are lawyers involved, all kind of stuff, right? So if you have a lawyer involved, is a little bit, especially if the lawyer is for you, right? There's things that they're going to look for to make sure that this person is legitimate, right? Make sure that if something happened, we can get back our money. So when it gets down to them kind of big investments, you're going to have to have those kind of things set up. But, them small investments, somebody say, give me $500 and I flip it for you. Like, you wouldn't want to go through all that just for like a $500.
Yeah.
So now, even though as I said, this person gained your trust for 2 years just to screw you over in the end, right? So it just goes to show you how there's people that's cold out there like that.
Tell me about it.
Right? So I think that's what the lesson is, to let you know that, like, even though sometimes, you might look at it and be like, okay, you still have to look at it as some skepticism, right? And also you have to look at it like, I'm more capable of making, money with my money than trusting you, right? It gives you some kind of faith in yourself now, because you're saying, man, I can't just be dependent on giving people my money for try flip. I gotta figure out how to use my money and make money. So I think that's what it does too. It puts you in that kind of mindset. But yeah, my biggest scam, remember when...
Is that a radio scam?
Huh?
The speaker scam?
Yeah. When we was doing the box hand, where I get my 2 hands back to back. I forget how much it was, but them time there, that was a lot of money for me, right? I think it was 2,000? I think it was $2,000 I had, right?
I don't remember.
Something like that. I think I had around $2,000. And I go in to the bank, I go into the bank to deposit the money, and I just park the car, walk into the bank, a man pull up and say, yo, and say, I got these 2 extra speakers that I can't take, speaker and projector, right? He said, I can't take back to my job because it wasn't on the file. They told me that I'm only delivering 1, but they pack 2, so this is not even documented. So he's like, like I'll sell it to you for, and he scanned the barcode to show me what the price is. So I did say, what? $4,000 for this? And he's trying to sell it to me for $600. So I say, yeah, I take 2 of them. I reach home, open the thing, and there's a rock inside of the case of it, just a shell and a rock. I was like, man. And it's crazy. The crazy part about it is, like, sometimes when bad things like that happen to you, and this kind of makes you see the kind of person that you are. And when I thought about it, I was like, man, I can't believe I was thinking so cold, because I did thinking to do it back to somebody, just get it off. And I'm like, when I look back at it, I was like, yo, can you imagine that, because I felt like, I just lose all my money that I try to save up for just like that, and somebody scam me. Let me just do it back to somebody else and get back at least something. That's what I thought. And I was like, I thought about it, I was like, man, I can't believe I even get to that point where I'm thinking that cold. Cause that's messed up. You wouldn't want nobody to go through what you just went through, and for you to actually think that, yeah, that's wild. Thought about that and I was like, nah, that's crazy for me to even get to that point. But so you go, we live and we learn.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah,
always a learning experience.
Yeah, I don't think I get caught for no scams like that no more. They might catch me with something, but you start to see patterns, certain things, so like now I know anybody outside and come try to sell me anything just so, nah, it can't happen so easy. Can't catch me. So
it's like when we come to this country first, and the people just always sell chain, like this is they just look, listen, man, this chain, we just get this from blah blah blah, and it's like it's pure gold. No, it's not. Helena's always say, hello, anybody come to you say pure gold, and they'll come and say, look, you see, and they scratch something, and then like show you that it's not coming off, it's pure gold or whatever. And one day Auntie decides she not come with you, go down the road, and the guy said, yes man, look, you see pure gold. And if you put it on, like you scrub it with something or the other, you see that it's somebody say, yes man. 2 weeks I want to change the Saturn.
Green?
The Saturn man. Like nope, it's not a pure gold.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the auntie that she don't want, you know.
Yeah.
Them people scam anybody. As soon as they ask you for buy anything, just ignore them. Them just a scam.
And you know what's crazy is that we tend to have to learn some things the hard way. A lot of times our parents and people around us say, yo, don't do this, don't. And you're like, man, I think you always feel like you're different. Like, oh yeah, I can use my judgment, I can figure that out, or this not gonna happen to me. And as crazy as it seems, like majority of the lessons in it that we have to learn is always the hard way, you know.
Yeah.
It's always the hard way. Cause even like when you're young and you're riding a bike and you're telling you know, put on
The helmet
and
on your pad.
and you saying, yeah, good at riding. It's not until you drop down and you grate off your whole knee, elbow, and you're like, damn. Then you start riding with
Yeah, that's why my parents told me to put on my knee pad.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And you never learn until you learn the hard way.
But you have to,
Yeah. So
you have to make your mistakes in order.
cause that's what I just think about sometimes with some kids, right? Like sometimes you see them doing stuff and you tell them, okay, don't do it. But I just always look and be like, I have to let them, they gonna have to fall, right? They gonna have to go and touch the stove and burn themselves. There's things that they gonna just have to do to know, because no matter how many times you tell them, as a child, you don't even know why they tell you don't do these things anyway. So until you build up some trust in your parent to know that, okay, yo, every time mommy say, yo, don't touch this or don't do that, something bad happened to me. So you have to allow all them bad things to happen so they can say, I just gotta trust mommy judgment and say, you know what, I know that something bad happened to me if I don't do this, or if I go and do what mommy say not to do. So I think that part and all too, like I think a lot of times too, it comes with the trust that you build up with the person too, to say, okay, let me just take their word for it. I think that has a part to play in it as well. I might be wrong though, but it could be that. So, well, cool. The lighting on this good, man. It look nice.
Yeah, it look very nice.
Yeah.
Look like a professional there.
Yeah. So that is Talk with Bob. That was a nice conversation.
Let's talk with Bob.
We recording.
We have mics on.
Talk with Bob.
Yeah.
What's up, Bob?
So this has been another episode of Talks with Bob. Catch y'all on the flip side. Mom, tell them bye. Alright, we out.